Hello, dreamers, leapers, magical humans in the world of Instagram. Welcome to While You Were Leaping Live. I'm your girl, Dre Brown, and this is the second in our inaugural series. I'm so hyped. I'm real hyped. I know y'all can't really shout and all that stuff, but I wish y'all could feel how excited I am right now. Welcome. Thank you to everyone that is pulling up to have this amazing, what I call beyond the bio conversation with, oh my God, I'm so excited to bring this beautiful human to y'all. She is a good friend of mine, and it makes me feel even more special to have her here. Comedian, content creator, healthcare activist, author, entrepreneur, so many things. ShantaQuilette Develle is here, y'all. Welcome, friend. Bring her out, bring her out, bring her out, bring her out.
I was going to say, friend, where have you been?
Where have you been?
Like I do nobody. I know my voice is melodious. I don't want to give you too
I
much.
would just tell you, because you know what, you be playing sometimes on your videos. Sometimes you'll be singing, and I'll be like, "Do she know that sound good though?" She be
Girl, who you telling?
Like, come through altos.
A lot don't care who tell it.
I would tell you, I'd be like, she don't know. She hit that. Okay, I'm gonna let you have that. But y'all, I'm so excited to be here. I know you have such an amazing backstory, and it is one that where you have worn many hats. So in honor of your many hats, I'm suited and booted today, y'all. I got my little hat on. If y'all know, Dre Brown loves a dad cap, right? And my sister, who's also my executive producer of this live stream, shout out to Nimble Collaborative, she brought me this hat for my birthday last month before we launched, and like, you know, put it on a hat so you know it's real. Like, come on, here we go. But I had to break out my new favorite sweatshirt from out of nowhere. You like this, ShantaQuilette?
I love it. It is amazing. It is fabulous. It is magerific.
I'm gonna tell y'all know Dre. I have a lot of help when it comes to like when I get myself together. So it's a family affair tonight, not just because of the hat my sister got me, but this sweatshirt. You see, I'm not surprised because you, ma'am, are a seasoned leaper. So I am not surprised that from you come new seasoned leapers, because this is the brainchild of her child, y'all. Her son Addison is the designer of these sweatshirts, and he is not just the designer of the sweatshirt. He is her partner in crime in all those videos that y'all be cracking up, going viral on Instagram and TikTok. So the young brother got gifts. And wait, how old is he?
He's just turned 18.
Come on, somebody. So get into it. I know y'all like it. I don't know if they got this one anymore, but you can get your, you can get your out of nowhere gear. But Fran, thank you so much for being here.
I'm honored.
Coming from Dallas, Texas.
I'm honored. I'm honored. The pleasure is mine.
Thank you so much. I mean, I want to get this audience to get to know you a little bit before we get beyond the bio, because there's so much to share, and you share so much with your community, but I have a feeling that even some people who have been following you don't know all that there is to you. So let me give y'all a little bit. ShantaQuilette is a dynamic force in comedy, content creation, advocacy, and entrepreneurship. With a background as a forensic accountant, she has mastered the art of precise and analytical thinking, and now applies it with finesse across a multifaceted career. Come on, somebody. Transitioning from the structured world of accounting to the spontaneous and impactful universe of comedy and advocacy, she's not only found her true calling, but has also become a beacon of inspiration and empowerment for so many people. As the visionary behind Girl Be Natural, ShantaQuilette champions the health and well-being of maturing women of color, providing them with innovative plant-based solutions. She also leads the Pink Peppermint Project. Remember that. Say that 3 times fast, y'all. You won't forget it. A nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering women affected by breast cancer. I'm not finished yet. ShantaQuilette's journey took a transformative turn following her personal health challenges, which included a heart attack and a stroke. And this reshaped her mission and fueled her passion for heart health advocacy and healthcare activism. Now, listen up, y'all. Turn your volume up. With over 1.2 million followers across her social media platforms, she captivates a vast audience with her blend of humor, relatability, and poignant storytelling. Her content not only entertains, but it educates and inspires. And as a sought after comedian, she uses her platform to weave together laughter and life lessons, highlighting the power of resilience and the importance of finding joy in life's journey. That's a word, y'all. Yeah.
A word.
Oh, man. I mean, I need to give everybody out there just a second to go to the kitchen and get you a cup, because your cup is not going to be enough. It's going to flow over. You're going to need that other cup because you're going to be like, okay, let me get my other cup. Because I already know you're gonna bless this group. I want to just thank you so much for being here. And I think we should leap now into getting behind your bio, beyond that beautiful backstory, to get some nuggets from this 20, 30-year career of just betting on you, taking really, really amazing leaps. So we gonna get into that. So question number one. When we first started talking about you joining us here at While You Were Leaping, we asked you what your ideal dream chaser title would be. And you told us it would be Visionary Vanguard. And that just screams powerful. Like, I was just like, okay, all right. Put it in gold letters, put it on the big, put it on the top. How did you come to that title? And two, when you think of yourself in that respect as a dream chaser and a leader, what do you think that means for those who aspire to leap like you, to be a dream chaser the way that you are?
Yeah. So it was really easy because, just like you said, dream chasing. When I think about being a visionary, I think about being a dreamer. And I'm always thinking in an aspect of what could be, right? And so thinking about what could be, I'm always thinking about how can I make this happen? How can I implement this? Being an accountant and a creative is like combining innovation and forward thinking together as one. And then when I think about Vanguard, I just think about, the word comes from military. So I think about being a trailblazer. So it's just a combination of a dreamer and a trailblazer one-on-one, and just pushing forward and knowing that no matter where you are in life, as long as you have a dream and a vision, you can make it happen.
And one of the things I think that you demonstrate so well with that is that it doesn't look like you doubt. I mean, you may doubt yourself, but you don't allow self-doubt to really hang around a lot. I feel almost like when you say Visionary Vanguard, it's like, y'all don't got to see it. I can see it. Like, that's what comes off of it for me. Is that true for you?
So I have no room for doubt. It's like, doubt doesn't live here. Anymore. I've always pushed through. I've always, like I said, I always see the future, and knowing that I can get there no matter what. One of the things I think that helped me with my stroke and having a heart attack is that I didn't doubt myself. Like, no matter what doctors said, I was like, I'm gonna push through. And the doctor was like, oh, you can't do this no more. Well, I'm gonna do it better. I just want to live life to the fullest, and I don't want to have regrets. And I feel like doubt is the enemy, and doubt only leads you to not doing what you want to do. And it leads to stagnation, and that's just not who I am. My husband, my children, they'll tell you that my husband, one thing is like, no matter what we think, no matter what we say to mom, she gonna do it. She might ask you your opinion just to ask you. She not really.
But trust me, if you say no, she's like, all right, I see you
Like,
when I get back.
It's already done.
That's my mother. My mother's statement is just that. When we ask her, like when we have something that we're aspiring to, she says to us, "It's already done. It's already done."
It's already done.
Fire department passing, talking about we too hot up in here. But it's already done. And when she says that, it just hits different because we'd be like, okay, I'm gonna shut up then. It's already done.
You know, and growing up, I was always affirmed. And my dad was one of the instrumental persons in my life when it comes to advocating for me. And even when running track, or even when I did something bad, you know, I hear people all the time like, you know, I grew up with people telling me what I couldn't do. I'd never be anything. I didn't grow up with that. You know, even when I got in trouble and did something wrong, my dad never said, oh, you ain't gonna be nothing if you do. If you keep doing this, this is where it leads to. But if you do this, this is where you're going. And so I always had that in my mind. I was always empowered, always affirmed, and always said that, you know, you can do it. You know, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. But if it don't happen, it's because of you. And that's what I learned. So I knew that anything that didn't come to fruition or anything that I didn't do in life was because of me. I was the catalyst. I know that I'm my
that's why it's the vanguard. She's like, I'm a general in this. All right. I'm doing this. I love that. And so I think that I share that with you. I come from a very, you know, affirming family. And so I started leaping early because I just, you know, once somebody tells you you capable, you start being like, okay, I'm gonna do that too. So right. I wanna get into, we love while you were leaping, we love to take, you know, dream chasing is not by design always a joyful experience, but we try to pull the joy out of it. And one of the ways we do it is we play games, right? So you want to play a game with me?
Absolutely.
All right. So we're going to play a game. Y'all know how we do it. The first game we're going to play tonight is called Two Leaps and a Lie. It's just like the game Two Truths and a Lie. Everybody's played it at somebody's slumber party somewhere, at a work function. You know how it goes. I would like you to share 3 leaps from your backstory. It can be anywhere along the journey, but make one of them a lie. And I'm going to try to use my discernment to figure out what that is. But I'm going to let you choose.
I'm like, what haven't I shared that you wouldn't know?
Exactly. That's why I say I'm going to let you dig for a second. So to inspire you, I'm going to give you mine and I'm going to let you guess mine and while you think about yours. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So
it has to be during the duration of me making my leap. It can't be any part of my life. Or
it can be any part of your life. Any part of your life. Because from what it looks like, your, you know, leaps look like bets on yourself. Times where you just tried something new, been in a new place, pivoted to something else. Just think about that. This is why I say, you know, you're not new to this, you're true to this. So that leaping energy just makes you have like leap colored glasses. The game continues. Your 2 leaps and your lie. Lay it on me. I'm ready.
I am fluent when I went to college, I became fluent in French and was able to go to France and teach a French class.
Oh, okay. Leap number 1. So good. You went to France to teach the folks. Okay. 2.
Number 2, I was in a hip hop dance group that toured all the way around Denver, Colorado, called Street Smart.
Okay.
And
anyone out there in the world that has video of this dance troupe, please email us.
And actually was in a commercial, was in a U.S. Bank commercial, singing "Oh Happy Day," a part of that group. And the third thing is, I spoke at one of the largest heart health events in Barcelona, Spain.
Okay. The reason I am going to go with the first being the lie, that you did not go to France and teach French, is because 1, I got a feeling that one of your one of your dance troupe members might be watching this live stream right now, and I really want them to slide me some video in that DM. And two, I know how your heart health game is strong. So I believe that you spoke at that event in Barcelona and probably slayed it. So give me what you got for a Pocho.
Vous appelez-vous?
Wait a minute, don't speak French to me and then tell me I'm wrong.
Alouette, Jonto, Alouette. No, I did not go to France.
You had me. Wait, but you had me for a second. I was like,
but I did take French for 4 years in high school.
Oh, well, see, no, your French, yes, honey.
But I never went to class.
I was like, girl, I want to take that class. Okay, all right. But did you like that game?
I did. And it makes you think, because you do a lot of things, and so it's like,
that's the thing. It's like we are so busy out here chasing the dream and going along the journey that sometimes we forget all the stuff that we actually took a bet on, like things that we actually were like, that looks scary as hell, but I'm gonna do it. Or I know that this is gonna be uncomfortable for me, but I'm gonna do it. And so what I love to call you are like a pro pivoter, because you have along your journey, you have made so many twists and turns. I remember when we first met, you told me you used to do hair before you were ever an accountant. So like, even before you were an accountant, you had another creative passion. And I mean, so you definitely have worn so many hats, so many titles professionally. I want to know, how do you fully articulate your gifts with each pivot every time you change directions? And in addition to that, while you're thinking about that, I'm curious, was there ever a time along this pivot-filled journey that you considered how a pivot or how a leap would be perceived by your community? And had you, considered that in actually making the choice to make a change?
Interesting. I want to say God, and I am running a path that he can only pace for me, right? And there have been many instances where I have to say, is this me saying this, or is this God saying this? And when I truly hear his voice, I know I'm supposed to stop doing a single thing. That it has been a conversation that I've made. No more, this is not what I want you to do. And if I don't do it, there comes a lesson, or there comes some type of adversity. And I've learned to listen to his voice, from doing hair, from becoming an accountant, to being a fashion stylist, doing interior decorating. I can draw. I can paint.
We talked about that. You draw.
All these different things that I've done that has actually just pushed me into upward trajectory. And it's just one little thing to get me to the next. I don't necessarily think what I was meant to do, what I was doing at the time was supposed to be long-term. It was just a catalyst to get me to the next level and to build me into the person that I am, to be multifaceted. And so you can see that translated online, from fashion, from hair. ShantaQuilette, always gonna have on some clothes, right?
And like people, when I tell y'all, so like y'all see these videos in her face, y'all done seen the promos with the headshot bussin'. Friend, I can call this woman on a Tuesday and she be heading out to date night looking just like she about to be on stage. This woman puts herself together, honey. So when you know that she's done hair, that she's been a stylist, it's like, I get it. Like, yeah, she probably got a team, but trust me, sis does this. And it's like your gifts get to show up in so many different ways, which I think is so
They
magical.
make room for you. They make room for you.
Yes.
If my makeup artist don't show up, I got it. So it's one of those things that God has really just built me into the image, into the person that He wants me to be able to have that knowledge to translate to other people. Because there was, I have to just be transparent. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel great, you know. So now I can teach people how to experience that. You know, what does that look like when
Yeah.
you're not feeling good? What do you do when you're not feeling good? What do you feel? What do you do when you're not emotionally well? When you're used to doing these things, when you're used to
Yeah.
being that person, how do you handle all that?
And I mean, it sounds like, when thinking about your community and how are people going to show up, it sounds like you're less concerned with how others will view the pivot because you're very tapped into like, I know why I have to do this. Is
Right.
that something like, even with like the insecurities and the things where you're going through a change, is that what reinforces it for you, that you know that this is a bigger mission or assignment? It's
Honestly, I don't really focus on what other people think about me. I don't focus on the outside noise, because it's what the only thing that's important to me is what God thinks of me, and pleasing Him. That's what's important to me. And that's why I'm, you know, steadfast in that. When people come with their opinions, I'd be like, oh well, God didn't tell me that. That's not what He said to me. And if He
oh, you
did,
heard that?
if you do come to me, then I know that it's confirmation. God, it's only confirming what God has already told me, right?
Yeah.
And I stick to that. I stick to that. Not to really, being on social media and having, millions of people on a daily basis, reaching out to you and giving you their opinion. Sometimes it may not be great. It may not be nice. You have to overlook that. It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. So you have to just be like, oh, child, going on. That's kind of
Oh, that
where.
was cute what you had said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be over here minding my business.
Oh, oh, he's so cute. But
Bless your heart.
yeah. So I don't worry about those things, because once I start focusing on that, then it's counterproductive to what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I mean, for me, like, it shows up that you cannot create at the volume that you do and share and be active in so many things and be creating change if you were worried about what people are going to say, because you just wouldn't have the time. I mean,
Yeah, you become insecure. You would become insecure. That's the thing about social media, listening to other people's opinions, competing and comparing, all these different things is counterproductive
yeah,
to who you truly are supposed to be. Like it's just counterproductive, and I don't focus on that. And I think that's my superpower, is my focus, my drive, my mindset, and not letting the noise behind me affect me, because I do get noise. That being someone who has had a triple face to face experience with my mortality. You have people who are constantly worried or constantly thinking that you shouldn't be doing this or shouldn't be doing that, and would rather me just be in the bed sleeping all day. That's not who I am. That's who I've never been that person. And
no.
until God says something different, I'm gonna always be this person.
I'm gonna keep doing you. You're gonna keep doing you. And the
What are
world is so much.
you?
This is what I be telling y'all. She be singing, y'all. Add that to the list. I do wanna ask you this question though, because while you were leaping, one of our credos is that we celebrate the laughs and the lessons of the dream chase. So sometimes along the road, there is stuff that happened and it's not funny at the moment. It ain't funny, friend. But later along the journey, when you have proven that, you know, you have made it through or made it to another point in your journey, you can look back and crack up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you are so, like, humor is just, it's your sauce. But I'm curious, is there something that when you look back over your journey that happened behind the scenes, this wasn't even in a video, wasn't even shared, that you can look back and be like, yo, that was not funny then, but I'm cracking up. Like I shared last week with Portia James, who we both met at ROI. Shout out to Hello 7, Rachel Rogers, our ROI family community. That is how we connected last year and again this year. And we were talking, and I was telling her in our last chat that one of the things that I had to do after leaving corporate America was I had to pick up a bunch of side hustles. And one of them was I was repping a mayonnaise company in Whole Foods on the weekend, right? And so I'm like ducking and dodging people, hiding behind a stack of cantaloupes, trying to, you know, if I see people I know, because I didn't want to explain why I was there when everybody was like, yo, but wait, Dre's supposed to be starting a business. She, you know, she's doing big things. Like, why she at Whole Foods? Or that girl looked just like Dre in that green apron. It was me. But now I look back and I'm like, well, that held me down. That paid the Verizon bill for a few months, right? But I look back now and it was 10 years ago. And I laugh and I can freely talk about it because it though in the moment my heart was beating fast and my ego was in the toilet, it still gave me the means to move my vision forward. And so I'm curious, is there something that sticks out in your mind where you were like, girl, ShantaQuilette, and you think back and it cracks you up? Is there a moment from your journey that reminds you of something that you're just like, it's so funny now, it was not funny then?
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting question. I'm trying to think. I didn't do any side hustles, you know, other than the internet, but I do, you know, what I make a joke of it now, and I've shared with a few people, was when I actually had the day that I actually had my stroke, and walking to my desk and getting dizzy and falling out and all that experience. One of the things that I remember is that I had a case where I was getting ready to do, we're working on doing a seizure on a taxpayer. We were going to, you know, take a warehouse from him. And, you know, in hindsight, when I go back and look at it, what was so funny is that I always wondered, like, what did that man pray that day that that when I took
you a stroke so you wouldn't take his warehouse from him?
And so I always think, like, I always laugh, and, you know, my manager, and we talk about it. I said, I don't know what that man, I said, he might be a preacher. I don't know. He probably got a testimony in his life that this lady had been coming up here. This lady had been coming up here trying to take my stuff, levying my bank accounts, putting liens on my property. Lord, whatever you do today, don't let her show up here today in the name of Jesus.
I'm like,
and what was so funny that day is that I also said, I always complaining about going to work that day. Like, Lord, I don't want to be here all day. Let me get to work and get back home. And
you did.
And I don't know if God got the prayers mixed up. I don't know if, you know, he was supposed to have a stroke and I was supposed to, I don't know. But I laugh at it now, and I laugh at those situations to say, you know, because God is a great comedian. I think God is the greatest comedian. He's very funny to me. And sometimes I'm like, Lord, I know you trying to write a strong punchline, but baby,
you ain't gotta hit me that hard.
I'm trying to laugh, you know. So that is one of the funniest things that I can think of throughout that journey, is because there's nothing that I have not been able to laugh at in my life, in every situation.
What gives you that? I mean, your sense of humor is robust already, but what makes you have like that joy filter, like where you look at stuff and you're like, take it on the chin and like figure, like, what is the mechanism that you use to kind of navigate that?
You can't take life too serious, it's because it's gonna end anyway. You know,
She said what she said, y'all.
listen, you can't take it too serious because it's gonna end anyway. I said, the only way to live, the only way to face death is to live and enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way you go. That's the only way you get to death, by living.
Come
Living
on.
a fruitful and robust life.
Come
I
on.
wake up every morning with, this is the day the Lord has made. If I wake up and I'm in pain, I feel like I have a lot of audacity to say, oh Lord, like, oh, I'm tired. I feel like it is, once I open my eyes and I start breathing, I know there's something there for me. I know I have more to live for. God has, he ain't ready for me to go. I always be talking about it, like, Lord, like, if you can give me a peek at the calendar, let me know. If I need to be moving faster, let me know. But I just enjoy life, and each
Yeah.
situation that I've been in has made me appreciate life so much more, because we take so much for granted. Me, just when I had my stroke, I went to work, had my whole week planned out, my curls were looking popping just like this, I had on a red suit. I said, honey, I'm gonna meet you at lunch, we're gonna go home and we're gonna have a good time. And that did not happen. I wasn't at work 30 minutes from the time that my husband got a call and said, your wife is unresponsive and she's here on our floor and we're taking her to Baylor Hospital. It was that quick. We had left, I went to work. It was that quick. And so I know how quickly things can turn, right? So I don't have time to be arguing with you. I stay in my lane. I do my work. I mind my business. I drink my water. I stay hydrated. I'm never thirsty. I do what
Skin
needed.
stay glowing, hydration.
Glowing, menopause, oily, whatever you want to call it. It's, whew. But yeah, it's just, I just find that you have to have the ability to laugh at yourself and laugh at things. And if you can't do that, then I feel like you're just not in a, I don't even know what I call it. I just, we make mistakes to learn from them, and you should be able to laugh at everything, even with, even when people pass away. I always think about the experience I had with them, what made me laugh when I was with them, what made me happy when I was with them, because crying and being sad and is not going to bring them back. So what is the solution and the resolve to that is to
Yeah.
have that experience, have those memories. And that's what I do with my son. No matter what happens today, if I go tomorrow, whenever I go, he will always have those experiences with me. Those will always be carried in his heart. He now is videoed. He can always
I
go.
thought I was gonna say there is an
Yeah,
archive.
as when he's a grown man and he's old and he's, in his 60s and 70s, and if the Lord says the same, he's going to have that experience that's never going to leave him. And that's what I always wanted when I had that life-changing experience. That's what I wanted to do, was make an imprint, not only on the world, but on my family and those who I'm surrounded by on a daily basis.
We feel that. I think, I think that's definitely one of the things that every time, every video you put out, even when you're just like recapping your day to us, it always feels like you want us to leave better than we came when we get that video.
Absolutely.
Like, you want that to be a change agent, and you are doing that. And we're gonna keep it going because there's a lot more that I want this audience to hear from. But what you just inspired is another game.
Game
Time. No, but I want to play this game with you because you are proof, ma'am, that where you start is no indicator of where you're gonna go or where you're gonna end. The way you start is not the way you finish. And I want to, like, I think, for me, that was my story too. I have had a lot of really interesting changes, and I know that there will be more. If somebody in 20 years sees me and I own a horse farm, don't be saying nothing crazy talking about, I thought you did makeup. Don't be saying nothing crazy. Because I made a choice. I switched the game up. So I want to celebrate this, the power of pivoting, with a game I call Where Are They Now? The Leaper edition.
Okay.
And you know, the way I want to play this game is like, sometimes you gotta back out of the peak and see where the valley was, right? So I'm going to read to you a question about a celebrity leaper, right? And I'm just going to give you the status of where they are right now. But then I'm going to give you 3 options for where they began. And I want you to choose that, you know, use your put your trivia hat on. Okay. And we're going to see where they started and where they finished, right?
Okay.
So, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
First question. Our first leaper is now known as our 44th and the first Black president. But before he leapt into politics, Barack Obama was a leader of a different kind. Was he A, a used car dealer, B, an ice cream scooper, or C, a library assistant?
Oh God. I'm gonna say ice cream scooper, but I'm gonna say library assistant.
Girl, you got that discernment. You need to be listening. Go with your gut, because yes, he was an ice cream scooper.
That's what I went. Yeah.
At Baskin Robbins, child.
Yes, that's what I thought.
I would have been like, let me get that rum raisin, and he gonna say, yes,
right.
You can. You say what?
I technically got it right.
You got it right. That's why I say you gotta go with your spirit.
Go, sister, go, sister. Okay.
Yes. Okay, good job. So you want to roll. You 1 for 1. All right. Number 2. Our next sleeper can now introduce herself either as a notable actress or simply a royal. But before her journey led her across the pond, Meghan Markle taught what? A, yoga, B, sign language, or C, calligraphy?
I'm going to say calligraphy.
You are killing it. What made you say calligraphy? She looked like she could write a good birthday
She looks like she could write really well. I didn't see her doing yoga, and I don't even remember her mentioning anything about yoga.
No, she worked at like a gift, like a store where you go to get things like wrapped and like
yeah.
And yes, she taught calligraphy. I think that's just real fancy because now when she get those letters from the royals and they got the calligraphy, she can be like, your R is not correct.
What does it say? On the 7th hour of the Lord,
of the day of our Lord. Yeah. Exactly. She gonna be like, you supposed to have a different tail on that aura. Fix it. Okay, we got a couple more. Okay. This one you killing it already, so I figure you're gonna sweep it. But next up in Where Are They Now? The Leaper edition is a fellow funny woman. Okay. One of comedian Tiffany Haddish's previous professions may have had customers cracking up on their way to new heights. She worked as what? A tour guide at the Grand Canyon, B, an airline gate agent, or C, a roller coaster ride engineer at Disneyland?
I'm going to say the agent airlines.
Oh my God, you're killing this. You are murdering this game. First of all, y'all, this is why she's a power pivoter, because she done so many things. She just uses her spidey senses. Correct. She was a gate agent for Alaska Airlines, y'all. So this is what I'm saying. You be like going to check in, and for some reason you tired waiting for your flight, and somebody just make you laugh when you get in your middle seat. To get in your middle seat, mad as hell.
Right.
And then that gay agent just give you a little joy. You don't know that, you know, a little ways down the road, you're going to see her on the big screen. This is what I'm telling you. This is another thing, too. We're going to keep the game going, but this is why you treat everyone you meet with the fullest possible regard you can give them.
Always bright.
One, because you do not, first of all, it's not even about treating people according to their station in life, but it's that you have no idea what these people are moving towards or where they are moving from. And the story just can sometimes precede us. But this is just another thing, something that sits on my heart. All right, you ready for the last one? Because you about to sweep it. You 3 for 3. I got a feeling you're going to kill it. Last one. So this last leaper is a true legend who detoured from a behind-the-scenes creative gig to Hollywood's A-list. What did Whoopi Goldberg once do before pivoting into acting excellence? A, was she beautifying clients for the hereafter at a funeral home? B, cooking craft service meals on movie sets? Or C, designing windows at department stores?
I want to say, oh God.
You didn't think the same time, but you already.
I'm going to say, was it cooking at the
on the movie sets?
Yeah.
No. You want to I know that sounds about right. Be like, okay, she just decided she wanted to be an actor.
I would say then the window.
No, child.
She was at the funeral home.
Was doing people's makeup at the funeral, honey.
Oh God, I would have never thought that.
Yes, she was a beautician at a funeral parlor.
Oh God.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, so it's like I'm like, that's why she walked in on Miss.
But you would have to have a sense of humor to do. You'd have to have a sense of humor to do that, though.
This is what I'm saying. Oh my God, my father used to work for funeral homes, and as a makeup artist, my dad used to say to me, "You're leaving money on the table." And I'm like, "Why, Daddy? I don't want to do makeup for dead people." He's like, "They can't complain."
Yeah.
And now that I think back, and I'm like, if it was good enough for Whoopi Goldberg, it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
So, but nobody slide in my DMs for their family member's funeral. I'm too emotionally available to do that. I can't do it. Well, yes. Oh, give it up for yourself. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the people at home, they might not even have that high of a score, because I was like, researching. I'm like, this is gonna stump them. But yes, you killed it per usual. But yeah, that whole game really, it reflects to me the whole notion of, we see these big, magnanimous people out in the world doing things. I like to call them the well-achieved. I include myself in that, because I get people that are like, "Oh, how did you ever do that?" And they have no idea that the backstories that come from people who have these big achievements, right? And I think that's why I wanted to create While You Were Leaping, because the more you hear the fuller story, I think the more we're able to expand the concept of possibility for people, especially for others who are aspiring to do things that we're doing. Because if we only tell the peaks, they have no color to fill in the design to really see how these things came to pass. And I think it also just helps people to give themselves some grace, right? Absolutely. Because while we're on this journey, things are going to be crazy. Life is going to life, but we have tools, right? We have a parachute, Absolutely. We got stuff, jumping out the plane, we won't hit the ground too hard. But I do want to talk to you about the power that you get from building magical community. You build community on all fronts. Yes, you have 1.2 million followers and counting. That is community. But everything you do, from your businesses to your nonprofit work to trying to raise awareness around health, what is one tip that you can offer those out in the viewing community for how to create and really utilize community for your dream chase? Because we know that community is huge in like sharing your content, but people build community differently. And I just feel like you have so many people in your corner and supporting you. How do you build and sustain that community, while you're out here, taking these big leaps?
Just being authentic and transparent with my audience and with myself. I try to keep a level of authenticity that translates to everyone. I was just, somebody reached out to me today and was like, who's your audience? What's your target audience? And I looked at it, and from the ages of 13 to the ages of 54, it was 15%, 15%, 50%. So I have this broad audience that is able to relate to me no matter what age they are, whether they see me as their sister, they see me as their aunt, they see me as their mom, they see me as their grandmother, they see me as their friend, their sister, their cousin. I represent someone in each and everybody's life. As they say, you're the cool auntie. And I just try to stay true to that. I try to stay true to that. I don't try to shift or try to be something else that I'm not. And I think people love that, and that's what they want. Somebody told me, like, hey, you need to go, I have this other page called ShantaQuilette, and they were like, well, you need to start putting stuff on there, and you need to do this for your speaking. And I was like, well, and if I go and start putting content on that page for a particular audience, I'm somewhat, or what I believe I'm doing is saying that this person is different than that person over there. And she's not. I want people to know exactly, whether it's corporate speaking, a comedy show, a panel, whatever it is. I want people to know that this is the same. This is what you get. This is who she is. I'm gonna be. I was at one point, and this is how God works. I remember doing something for a large pharmaceutical company. I was doing a panel. I was doing a panel conversation, and I'm really into dark humor. I'm just really, dark farce, all these different things. And so, I'm the participants are asking me questions, and this guy asked me this question, and I respond in the most morbid and dark way that I could, unconsciously. Well, it was, I will say, God. It was God.
Yeah, it was conscious, just unconscious to them.
Yeah, so it was unconscious, but I wasn't aware. So once I said it, I could see the faces of everybody. Some people were like, somebody was, some people were like, and some people were like, and some people were just like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, these people are never going to invite me back. Why did you say that? This is a big opportunity that I messed up on. I should have just, what do they say? I should have just kept my code switching going. And that's what you get that in your head. I'm like, I should have just did this, right? And I even told my husband about it. I was like, oh, I think I blew this one. I said something really inappropriate. And he's like, oh, okay, well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If not, it's not meant to be. And I was like, okay. Later on, that week, the facilitator was like, didn't you say you were a comedian? And I was like, yeah, I am. And he's like, hey, when we have our quarterly sessions, can you do what you did today? And I was like, do what? He was like, what you said was hilarious. He was like, we were laughing so hard. He was like, I had to go off the screen. And I was like, okay.
And you see,
and that's when I just
had you let, and I'm so grateful in that moment that your husband was just like, look, it's done. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think what is so often, and thank you for sharing that, because that's the type of stories that I think people don't talk about as much, is the thing when you're out doing and people are seeing all the beautiful photos and everything, but no one's saying, like, you're going to do things that you think are good and you're going to make mistakes. And they're going to turn out to not be a mistake, or they're actually going to turn out to be something that you shouldn't doubt yourself again about, because you were staying true to yourself. I think that's so important while people are out here doing the things, because you're not doing things you've done before. So you don't know how you're going to be received or how you're going. You're just trying to just show up as fully. And I think that goes back to you staying true to your authenticity. Because if you know that you're being true to you, even if it may rub somebody the wrong way, they can never say that you were inconsistent.
Right.
They can never say that you weren't true to you. Girl, we in here having too much fun because we got like 7 more minutes. So you know we can be on the phone for a while.
Have some fun, and you have some fun, and you have some fun.
I'm serious. We all get it. Before we wrap this up, I want to try to squeeze in 2 questions because there's so much that comes into dream chasing and leaping into your best, biggest life that a lot of people don't talk about that does impact our mental and our physical health. Do you have 1 or 2 top tips that you can share for those of us that are out here, whether they're leaping into a new job, a new relationship, a new phase of life? Just 2 tips that you can offer for dream chasers and leapers to be mindful of to keep their health, both their mental and physical health, paramount, because along the journey, those are, with stress and lack of sleep and things that come with pursuing goals, your body and your mind can come under attack. And you've spoken out against a lot of those ramifications. So can you share, even if it's just a personal practice or something that, you want to offer so we keep that at top of mind?
Yeah. One of the things is what I always say is that you are your best investment. And to get a return on that investment, you have to pour into yourself and you have to take care of yourself. And that's mentally, emotionally, physically, by exercising, meditating, eating the right foods, and minimizing stress in your life. And knowing that you don't have to explain the boundaries that you set for yourself, and you have to stay steadfast in that. I have a daily routine where I wake up in the morning, I talk to God, I come and I have this corner right here with a mat and a sound bowl, and I say, Alexa, play Franklin radio station. Alexa, play my meditation music. I light a candle. I give gratitude for everything, for breathing, for being able, if I talk to a friend, if Dre calls me or the day before I might have had a long conversation with her, I show gratitude for that. I thank God for allowing me to have people who pour into me and that I can pour into. And then secondly, it goes hand in hand, is being the CEO of your health, making sure that you have a body set up around you that takes care of you. You have worker bees, that's your doctors, those are your friends, that is the books you pick up. All these things support you physically and emotionally. And don't be scared to, we have God and God is good, but I have a life coach, I have a spiritual life coach, I have a neuropsychologist, I have all these people who help me be the best version of myself. And knowing that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. One of my friends said, when you cry, she's like, that's the energy that you put back out. All that energy that was in you, you put it back out in the universe. So crying is good. Being not okay and recognizing that you may not be able to do it. I told my neuropsychologist today, I met with her today, and I said, I'm proud. I set some clear boundaries, and I'm actually proud that I set these boundaries. And she's like, you know how big that is to not only set the boundaries, but being proud that you set the boundaries. Because a lot of times we make excuses, or we feel sad because we had to tell people no, or we couldn't perform at our highest ability, and we get sad, and we get mad, and we get angry because all these things. But no, I'm happy that I can tell people no and be comfortable without an explanation, because I feel like if you say no and you give an explanation, you're asking for permission.
There you go.
And
and then that it cancels out
yeah,
the infrastructure of the boundary.
yeah,
I'm so grateful because I want to just recap the things you said. Really just being the CEO of your own health. Like if you look at your health the way you look at how you make your money, you will take care of it.
absolutely.
Setting boundaries and then enforcing them. And then being okay with not being okay, being able to know that that's a temporary circumstance and that you
Right.
will be okay again. I love that. And like y'all, it is not easy to take a bet on yourself. So a big reason why I'm so grateful to have you here is you represent what could happen if we are, not focused on that thing, but you also represent what can happen when you invest in being your best and you can bounce back and you can come back from even when others are like, this is it. Thank you so much. While we have just a couple more minutes, I want to know what is next for you. What are you leaping into next, and what can we do as the While You Were Leaping community to pour into that? Let us
Yes.
know. We have a couple more minutes.
I am really working on writing and being a screenwriter. I have always loved to write. I write every day. I'm really into psychological thrillers and in Southern Gothic, but also developing a series based on myself. Hey ShantaQ, and incorporating my family, this huge mockumentary that I'm writing.
Love that.
And my goal is to, have my first pilot out by my birthday and do this premiere and a
Come
red
on.
carpet premiere and launch
You
it
need a
on
makeup
YouTube.
artist?
You said what?
You need a makeup artist?
I do. We probably all do. You come here in Texas, it's gonna be right here in
I'll
this
pull
house.
up, friend. I will pull up.
But yeah, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited. I have some amazing people around me that's pushing me, and God has kept whispering it like, you got to get this out. You got to get this out. People are always in my timeline saying, you need a show. Your family
Yes.
needs a show. You and Addison need a show. And so I
Yes.
want to finally bring that into fruition and work really, really hard to do that. And so that is my quarterly, my next 3-quarter goal is to get that implemented and finished. So if you are not following me on YouTube, I need everybody to go on YouTube right now at Hey ShantaQ and follow me, and show some support. If you enjoy what you see now on my page, you're going to be in for a major treat.
Oh, hi, friend. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. Y'all, this woman, I'm telling you, I am so grateful for you. I am excited for this. The show is happening. For everybody, all my TV friends out there, don't miss, honey.
Pull up.
Pull up. I'm so excited. You make us want to watch Black families, and you make us want to be in your family. Like, we want to watch your family because it feels real, but it also feels like love and fun. And
Yeah.
it's so different than a lot of the stuff we see portrayed on TV about our people and our family. So I can't wait for it to come. Guys, we running over time, but I am so grateful. This is truly a gift. This is our second week. We're going to keep going. We got a few more weeks left, but give all your virtual love to ShantaQuilette. Oh my God.
Congratulations to you and this big baby of yours that has blossomed into something great and that is going to be even greater down the line. We may be, hey, CBS, you hear? Can you hear CBS?
I mean, look, our show's gonna be on the same network. We gonna
Lifetime owned.
Everybody pull up. Y'all, we have another amazing While You Were Leaping live coming in 2 weeks. You can see on the screen, March 28th. And I'm telling you, this one, honey, is gonna be a doozy. We're gonna have ourselves a time. ShantaQuilette, if you want to follow her tags are at the bottom of the screen. If you want, don't forget her YouTube is just like her Instagram, Hey ShantaQ. And also Full episodes, including tonight's live, will be up on my YouTube channel. And we also will be, sharing that with you guys tomorrow. So you can send it to all your friends who didn't make this Kiki. But again, thank you for joining us. This is your preamble to the weekend to remind you to take a leap this weekend on something: your health, your relationship, your well-being, your new job. Leap out of something that's not serving you, leap into something that makes you feel alive. And until the next time, we will see you later. Give them some kisses, ShantaQ. We love y'all. Thank you for joining us, y'all. We'll see you next time.